Good morning, friends, neighbors, and countrymen, and barrel-chested freedom fighters all around the world. Got the old paratrooper here. Hope everyone's doing well. It is starting to feel like fall. And fall, for me, reminds me of hunting season. And the reason this video came about was due to a conversation I had the other night. I went and met some friends. We got our bow and arrows out, shot some targets, talked a little bit about what we were going to do for bow season, which is coming up here in Missouri shortly. And then we had a couple of adult beverages around the fire and just started talking and reminiscing. And the topic kind of revolved around two things that night. What our fathers used for hunting, and then it kind of delved in if you could only have one firearm. Now, did not anyone accuse me of being a FUD. If you want to own 100 guns or no guns, that's your right as an American citizen. Own as many as you want, own as few as you want. But say, for example, you could only afford one firearm. Maybe you're young, you're starting out, whatnot, just can't afford a bunch of guns. So, conversations we talked about, what our fathers used to hunt. And my father's standby for many, many years was a Winchester 12 gauge pump shotgun. He had a couple different barrels for it. He had a full choke barrel, which if he wanted to hunt turkey or ducks was perfect for it. And he also had, I believe it was a modified barrel, which was very good for small game, birds, such as quail and dove, and he also used it to hunt deer. Eventually he got a Remington 30-06 semi-automatic because that was the fashion in the late 70s and 1980s in southern Missouri. But he used that for everything. And my father also worked on the railroad, so he was gone a lot. My mother and I lived in a house on the outskirts of town, and there was not a lot of crime in our community. But at the same time, my mother wanted to feel safe when there was that 12 gauge shotgun in the closet and a box of shells, and she knew how to use it. So, if you can only have one firearm, you want to tailor that firearm to what you're using for. Now, obviously, if you live in Manhattan, well, take that back. That's a whole other can of worms. Let's say you live in St. Louis and you want a firearm to defend yourself while you're out traveling, you're probably going to want a handgun. By the same token, if you live in, well, let's say Nebraska, and the only thing you want to do is shoot groundhogs, hey man, get you a good flat shooting high powered rifle in a smaller caliber and put some good optics on it and go out there and have fun. Because firearms are like tools. They all fit a certain purpose, but some are multi-tools. And I would have to say, if I could only have one firearm and I lived in a rural area in the United States, I would do what my dad did. I would have a 12 gauge pump shotgun, maybe a semi-auto, because semi-autos are a lot more reliable these days. And that's what I would use for everything, from small game to big game to home defense, whatever. I think that would be about the best bang for the buck. So, that's just my thoughts on the subject, and that was kind of our conclusion after about half a bottle of Maker's Mark. We all kind of agreed on that. So, in the meantime, friends, continue to train, watch your six, and God bless America.